Hey there, welcome back to a new episode of Way Out Wednesday. My name is Dr. Ashley Southard. I'm the co-founder and program director of the Healthy Way Out Emotional and Binge Eating Program, and also the site director and clinical therapist at a New Beginning Outpatient Treatment Center. So this month, I'm talking about the parallel connections between food and feelings. So what you do with your food and how you relate to your food and think about it is very much the same with what you do with your feelings, how you think about them and relate to them. So this month we're exploring some different facets of those parallel connections. And today I want to talk about should thinking. You probably all experience this should thinking in how you talk to yourself. But how does should thinking show up in your relationship with food? Well, for a lot of people who struggle with binge eating and maybe even dieting as well, they find themselves saying the word should a lot when it comes to their eating. So things like, I should be eating healthy. I know what I should eat. Okay? Do you ever hear yourself saying that? When you talk to yourself in that way and you tell yourself what you should be doing, you're actually denying what you truly want to be eating or how you truly want to be relating to food. And if you don't follow this idea of what you should be eating, then you can feel really bad about yourself and you can feel shame, you can feel guilt. And that's a really uncomfortable space to sit in. It also then leaves you vulnerable to looking outside of yourself for an answer to the question of what should I eat? And this is oftentimes where people then turn to diets. They look outside of themselves for that answer, and a diet says, well, I'll tell you what you should eat. Okay? We can also look to others to tell us what we think we should eat. So have you ever been in that experience where you're sitting at a restaurant with other people and you're looking at the menu and you really want to order something that maybe you think you shouldn't eat? Maybe it's something less nutritious or less healthy, or you put it in that bad category like we talked about last week. So instead of allowing yourself to order the thing that you want to eat, you go around the table and you ask everyone else, what are you going to eat? And what are you going to eat? And if they start rattling off things that fit with what you think you should be ordering, so if one person's going to order a salad and one person's going to order a healthy wrap and one person's going to order soup, then you might think to yourself, well, you know what? I should order something healthy too. I shouldn't be ordering this less nutritious option that I see on the menu that I really want. So this should thinking in relation to your food really sets you up to feel bad about yourself if you don't do exactly what you think you should be doing, and it leaves you very vulnerable to needing external answers to the question of what should I eat. It really takes you away from yourself in that relationship with food, okay? So this same process then oftentimes shows up for people in the relationship with their feelings. So again, a lot of people struggling with emotional and binge eating have a sense of what they should be feeling. And oftentimes that list of acceptable emotions is very, very small. Sometimes it is one emotion, and that is fine. But what I often hear is, I should be fine. I should be happy. I should be grateful. And then the subsequent question can be, what's wrong with me that I'm not happy, that I'm not fine, that I'm not grateful? Okay, so there's this sense of what you should be feeling. And then when you don't fit in with that, you feel bad about yourself and you wonder what's wrong with you. Again, this can also make you very vulnerable to looking outside of yourself for the answer to the question of what should I be feeling. So rather than following your authentic emotions, you look to others. You gauge how they're feeling, how they're responding as what you should be doing. So if everyone else looks fine, then you expect yourself to look fine and you think, I should be fine, even though quietly inside, I don't feel fine. Okay? Or if everybody else is so happy right now, then you think to yourself, I should be happy too. What's wrong with me that I'm feeling sad? okay? Or if you're at a party and everyone's having a good time, you're thinking, I'm surrounded by people, I should be enjoying myself, but quietly inside, I feel really alone and miserable, okay? So this should thinking, whether it's with your food or with your feelings, really sets you up to feel like you're doing something wrong, and then you look to others to guide you in what you think is appropriate or right. So, as you can see, there are a lot of connections between how should thinking can show up in your food and how should thinking can show up in your feelings. And in both cases, this should thinking can leave you feeling very ashamed for whatever is naturally going on inside of you. So, when we look at it with food, if you are naturally craving a particular item off of the menu and everyone else around you is ordering something different, or you have a different idea of what you should be eating, then that natural desire is going to leave you feeling ashamed. And similarly with your feelings, if you are naturally having an emotional response to something, but everyone around you is responding differently, or you have some idea of how you should be responding, then you're going to feel shame for this natural emotional response that you're experiencing. So, should thinking is quite harmful to your sense of self, and it really controls and thwarts this natural eating and feeling process that's constantly going on inside of you. Okay? So, the way that we shift out of that is we have to become very aware of when that word should enters into your self talk. So, notice that throughout the day. How often are you saying to yourself, I should be eating this? I should be doing that. I should be feeling this way. Really dial into that, because you probably say it to yourself a lot more than you realize. And every time you plug in the word should when talking about yourself, you are applying shame and judgment to whatever is naturally and organically going on inside. So the first piece is to become very aware that you are saying that word to yourself. And then the second piece is to shift out of that and say, instead of what should I be eating, how about what do I want to be eating? Okay. Instead of what should I be feeling, how about what am I feeling? So we want to bring the focus back to what is actually happening for you right now, rather than what you think should be happening for you right now. So when it comes to food, what are you hungry for? What do you want to eat? What sounds good? What nutritional needs does your body have right now for this next meal? Ask yourself what's actually going on inside for you food-wise, and then respond to that, okay? Same thing with your feelings. Rather than thinking that you should be feeling or emoting a certain way, I want you to ask yourself, what am I actually feeling? And then give yourself permission to honor and express that emotion, even if other people are having a different emotional response. So if you're feeling angry, can you give yourself permission to say, I am feeling angry, that's okay, and to create some space for that anger, okay? So we don't want to shut ourselves down with this should thinking, because that actually is very oppressive, it's very judgmental, and it totally sets you up for a later binge or emotional outburst, okay? So if you shut down what you really want to be eating, you know that eventually that leads to a binge. If you shut down what you're naturally feeling, eventually that's going to build and build inside of you and lead to some kind of emotional explosion or outburst. And both of those experiences, the binging and the emotional outburst, again, they don't leave you feeling very good about yourself. So pay attention to how often that word should creeps into your vocabulary, and then change it from what should I be ... to what am I ... okay? And see if you can really honor and create space for whatever organically is going on inside of you. If you can do this for yourself, this is a tremendous gift, and I think you're going to find that you will feel a lot more balanced within yourself, a lot happier, and a lot more in control. Okay? So this week, pay attention to the should thinking, catch it, create space for what's organically going on. You will feel better. All right, we'll be back here next week for another slice of these facets of parallels between how you relate to food and how you relate to your feelings. Have an awesome week, and I'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.